Hi, welcome back to Math with Miss Grundy. I'm so excited to make my first video of the 2019-20 school year. I am even more excited to teach the amazing students that I do teach. And today we're going to be talking about rate and unit rate. These both are two things that you will use in your everyday life, even as a grown-up. Especially as a grown-up. There are so many times that I go to the grocery store and I figure out what the rate of something is so that I make sure that I am buying the cheaper of the two. Because there are 50 million packs of toilet paper and nobody actually wants to spend their hard-earned money on expensive toilet paper. So this is a time that I use rate and unit rate so I can get the cheaper of the two, whether it's the 15 pack or the 5 pack. I gotta figure out which is cheaper because I rather spend my money on so many other things, aka perfect bars. So before we get started, I just want to clarify what rate and unit rate are, just in case you forgot. So rate and unit rate are very, very much connected. Rate is a quantity of one. So it's whenever you have two things and you figure out for one. So for example, how many miles per hour? How much does one soda cost in the pack? There are so many rates out there that you will see. And as you are living your daily life, going to and fro wherever you are going to, your activities, friend's house, grandparents, wherever, if you see a rate or a unit rate, go ahead and leave a comment below and it will earn you some credits for seeing real world application of math. Yeah, so comment below on times that you have seen rate or unit rate and what it is used for. So unit rate is also a quantity of one. So how far in 1 hour? How long did it take you to run 1 mile? Etc. So they both are expressed in quantities of one. They're a ratio expressed in quantities of one. And the difference is rate has units. And crazy enough, unit rate has no units. I like to remember the difference as unit rate. The units are already in what they're looking for, so I don't have to include it in my answer. Rate doesn't have the units in the term, therefore I have to include the units in my answer. But that's just a trick that I use. You may come up with your own. So we're going to go ahead and do a problem figuring out which is the best buy, which is the better buy. So because it's back to school, everyone's buying their school supplies. I know you have bought tons of pencils so that you won't run out. But just in case, and because I know you guys, I went to the store and I bought, or I'm going to go to the store and buy extra pencils. However, I obviously want to get the most amount of pencils for my money, so I have to determine the rate and the unit rate of each pack to figure out which is the better buy. So I went to the store and they have a pack of pencils and there's 30 in that pack. And that 30 pack costs $7.97. They also have a pack of 12 pencils. For $4. and 77 cents. So again, I want to figure out which is the better deal. So I have to figure out how much does it cost per pencil. So how much is one pencil? So in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and set up my ratios right away. And I'm going to put a 1 at the bottom because it's expressed in quantities of 1. And now I have to figure out, I want one of what? $1 or one pencil? Well, I know that I want to figure out which is the better buy. So I have to figure out for one pencil. So that means 30 is going to go here and 12 will go here, leaving my dollar at the top. Because again, I'm looking for one pencil. Not $1, but one pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and work with just this first, and then I'll move over to the 12 pack of pencils. So I'm going to take $7.97, and I'm going to split it or divide it between 30 pencils. Quickly down to the side, I always write my multiples. I know my multiplication, but there are times where I just get tripped up because I'm thinking about remembering move the decimal and this and that. And then whenever I'm working with big numbers, it can also get a little bit trickier. So just to help myself out. And remember, I've been in so many math classes and I still use this as a tool. So don't be afraid to use it. So I'm just writing the first couple of multiples down this side. And now I'm going to go ahead and start dividing. So 30 goes into 7, 0 times. I know that I have a decimal here, so straight away, I'm just bringing it up. 30 goes into 79, 1, 2 times. 2 times 30 is 60. I'm going to go ahead and now subtract. And I end up with 19. I'm going to bring down my 7. And it looks like I didn't go enough, so I'm just going to go a couple more, figuring out what the next closest is, and it looks like it's 180. So that means 30 goes into 197, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So 6 times 30 is 180. I'm then going to subtract. I'm left with 17. Because I'm working with money, money is always, always, always extended 2 place values to the right of the decimal. So going out to the hundredths place. However, we have a remainder here, so we need to divide one more time to figure out this place value to see if we round this 6 up or keep it the same. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 0 and bringing it down. Remembering that you could add as many zeros as you want to the end of a number after the decimal. So I could keep writing 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and it does not change the value of my number. So 30 goes into 170, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And I'm going to go ahead and just quickly subtract this. And now I'm done dividing. And I'm looking to see if the number in the thousandths place rounds this number up or keeps it the same. Remembering when rounding, if your number to the right of the number that you're rounding, so in this case we're rounding the 6, so the number to the right is 5. If that number to the right is a 5 or higher, it will round your number up. So that means in this case, our number was a 5. So it's going to round our 6 up to a 7. And it will cost 27 cents per pencil. and that's the rate. And then the unit rate, remembering the difference between rate and unit rate is the units. So that means the unit rate is 27 hundredths. All right, we have one left to do. So in this case, we want to figure out how much is each pencil in this pack. So I'm going to do the total cost divided by the quantity I want to get to 1. So I want the 12 or 12 pencils to turn to 1 pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and list the multiples out to the side, knowing that 12 is a little bit easier to work with. So after I've listed these first couple of multiples, I will probably just use my brain power to do the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and move my decimal up. 12 goes into 4. 0 times. 12 goes into 47. 1, 2, 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. Go ahead and subtract. Bring down my 7. And this is what it's talking about, where I will just use my multiplication facts that I already know. And I know 12 times 10, which is easy, because remember, anytime you're multiplying by 10, you are moving the decimal 1 time to the right, or every number is moving to the next largest place value. So I know that 120 is too much, so that means 10 is too much, so I will go with 9. And 9 times 12 is 108. Go ahead and subtract, borrow my 1. 17 minus 8 is 9. This has turned into a 0 and 0. So remembering I have to divide out to the third decimal place. Add my 0, bring it down. And 12 goes into 90. 7 times 12 is 84. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I have 3 place values to the right of the decimal. So I can go ahead and round. So whenever I'm rounding, it has to be a 5 or above to round the number to the left of it up. In this case, I have a 7, which is greater than 5, so that means this rate is 40, don't forget to round, cents per pencil. Leaving the unit rate at 40 hundredths or 4 tenths. Either way, the value is still the same. Alright, now I have to write my statement of which is better. So this was pack A, and this was pack B. I obviously know that 27 cents is less than 40 cents, so pack A is the better deal. So pack A is the better deal. So I've stated my answer, and now I'm going to explain using the vocab words rate and unit rate. So pack A is the better deal because it has a it has a rate, don't get those words mixed up, of 27 cents per pencil. where pack B cost, let's use the vocab words, sorry. Pack B has a rate of 40 cents per pencil. So I've used my vocab words, I've explained, and now I'm going to push even farther and extend. So pack A cost 13 cents less per pencil than pack B. Therefore, still pushing that thinking, you will save, and we're going to figure out how much they save. So if it is 13 extra cents per pencil, and I'm buying 30 pencils, I'm going to go ahead and multiply. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. And 0 times 0 is 0. I forgot this little trick. So there are 2 numbers behind the decimal here. So I'm going to put a D2. There are no numbers here, so D0. Add these together. That means there should be 2 numbers to the right of the decimal place whenever I finish. Alright, so I'm now moving on to the tens, and therefore I need to add a 0 to show that I'm moving to the next place value. So I now have 3 times 3, which is 9. 3 times 1, which is 3. 3 times 0, which is 0. I'm going to go ahead and add these all together, leaving this last 0 off because we don't need the 0 in front of the numbers. And then I need 2 numbers behind the decimal. 1, 2. So that means I will save $3.90 per 30 pencils. So I said my answer, pack A. I said why, using vocab words, which was rate. And then I pushed my thinking not just once, but twice. I pushed it by saying pack A costs 13 cents less per pencil than pack B. And then I also said that I would save $3.90 for every 30 pencils that I bought. If I wanted to extend it a little bit more, I could say that for 12 pencils, you will save, we're going to figure it out. So 13 cents times 12. I have 2 numbers behind my decimal, no numbers behind my decimal, for a total of 2 behind my decimal. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. Because I'm moving to the next place value, I add a 0. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0. Go ahead and add those together. 6, 5, 1. And I'm leaving out the 0 because there's no point in putting them in front of the numbers. I needed 2 numbers behind my decimal, So 1, 2. So for every pack, if I go with pack A, for every 12 pencils that I buy, I will save $1.56. Not enough for a perfect bar, but if I am buying 30 pencils, I will have enough. You're in luck. So this is how I expect for you to have your answers written. This is like an SBAC 4 level answer. Again, stated the correct answer, use the vocab, justified it, and then extended it, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I hope that helped. If you have any additional questions, leave a comment below. If you watched this whole entire video, give yourself some props, and I will see you tomorrow with everyone having their homework done to the best of their abilities. Thanks for joining.